Hello, hello, once again. All right. Okay, so where was I? I'm not sure, but I actually want to go check out a catacomb. Let's go to the catacombs. Gotta go to the polls. So Rosas was pointing over yonder. There should be... Oh, I thought there was some tornado I could hop down. Alright, so... Gonna ignore all these gross piles of whatever. One sec. Gotta adjust this stuff a little. I feel like the adjustments I actually made were so minor. I feel really silly, but the light was reflecting off of some stuff in a weird way. Okay, so let's check out these okay. That was an interesting choice on his part. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I love jump attacks. I'm so happy to have jump attacks. Alright, let's just take a quick look at one of these, Erdtree Burial Watchdog sort of statues. That's interesting, because it's three heads, but they only have 2 ears, like, at the top. I always like their crown necklace, too. Thought that was pretty cool. I have, like, a... Dogs don't have that many toes. Oh, well, the back legs, I think, are... What's up, last protagonist? I think the back legs are normal, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. The hands in the front, though, yeah, are... Those are people hands, which I don't like. Kind of like beast men. Wonder if that's... interesting. Oh, that's an elder. Well, I guess that's just maybe one of the types of imps, I guess. Oh. I'm choking on my surprise. Excellent. All right. That's what happens when you don't get the corn out of your ears. It does look like an entire corn cob could fit into those ears. Okay, so, like, what does this do, though? Where did that come from? Oh, the steps. Like, I knew it would be a trap, but I wasn't, I was kind of hoping it would hit one of them. I really didn't do much. Oh, health. Don't have any health. Damn. Kind of rolled into that. So now I have to wonder if the Beastmen had something to do with this culture. Because I I have a sneaking suspicion that the catacombs were built around the roots of a previous incarnation of the Erd Tree or something like that. Okay. Basically what I think of as the Great Tree. So I think this culture could have been some, like, older sort of Erd Tree worship culture, pretty much. Damn, okay, that was stupid. I kind of forgot about the trap. Clearly. So yeah, I think that... I forgot about all these guys. I've also started to suspect that the Bat people might have something to do with this civilization too, because I think that they are in places that are always near the ruins that I tend to associate with that civilization. That was a good one. Oh, I thought I tripped it again. Okay. I wish I'd looked at this before. That might have been... Oh, I've never noticed. It shows people actually going out through, like, the branches. Interesting. I really want to see, like, a complete image of that, because that could be depicting more or less what I have suspected the, like, flow of, like, life is in Elden Ring. Whoa, okay. Youch. I could send you a picture, or you could just go to another catacomb and it'll be there if you don't open the door. You... If it wouldn't be any trouble, I'm sure you have a pretty awesome picture, but, I mean, I'll probably just, like, find one, yeah, like, in another catacomb before too long. It's up to you, I guess. I'm probably gonna take a picture of one, if you don't, anyway, just so that I can study the image. Okay, so this time I'm gonna kind of draw them in. Should have healed first. But yeah, this civilization, I think they're the ones that used, like, the crystal darts, and, obviously, because, you know, all the golems and stuff. Okay. Behind me. Interesting. I thought he would be in front of me. Yikes. Oh my god, that was awesome. That worked out perfectly for me. How much healing do I still have? I don't even know if that's gonna... I thought that there was someone that was supposed to jump down. That was a very just ridiculous battle for a bunch of reasons. Okay. Alright, I need to go on the attack a little bit more. God, but whenever I do, it messes up my momentum. Damn. There might be some... Okay, this time I'm also going to buff with Golden Vow. And... I might two-hand some more. Let's see, there might be something else that... Oh, this is probably good for now. I hope I can ignore these guys. They'll probably bite me in the ass and I won't be able to, but I might have made it. Damn, okay. Just need to be a little bit more cautious. Oh, Jesus. Need to be a little bit more cautious of those attacks. God. Why? Is it possible to backstab this guy? Okay. I don't know why I didn't just try that earlier. This is gonna be trivial. Whoops. Yeah, I just needed to backstab him more. Banished Knight Engval. So he's the one that rejected the invitation. Living on the fringes. Protect a masterless castle. So that I wonder if that means Stormvale. Is Stormvale considered the fringes? I mean, I guess there are banished knights there. Are the fringes just anything that's not Lindell? Or the Altus Plateau? Alright. Oh yeah, here's that Tornado. Side of Grace, too. Oh, and that's one of the portraits. Awesome. Homing instinct. Oh, this is the one. You get like that beetle from it, I think. The Ash of War beetle, maybe. Painting of like an Erd tree. I know exactly where it is or whatever, I just don't really... I haven't looked at that painting in a long time. Have I gone underground at all? Have. I will... Yeah, I'll find another catacomb. There will probably be one in... Actually, I'll go through Stormville some more. I'm terrible at making decisions. I'm getting a little antsy with wanting to defeat Godric and move on to other areas a little bit. Yikes, that was really close. Really hard to hit the birds. Jesus! Just got birded to death. I don't really have many ranged attacks, I don't think, that I could use to deal with them. Wish I had some gravity sorcery or something, but... Nah. Oh my god, I didn't take damage from that explosion, I guess. Awesome. Hornhawk feather. So yeah, let's look at some of this stuff, because I had never really considered which parts of this might be... Like, I heard some... I don't know. I heard someone say that some of this, like, golden ornamentation and stuff might be newer. And, like, I do think that there's newer sections of the castle. I'm not sure that that's... I don't know, that might have been Godfrey era stuff. I don't want to go over there. It's the stuff beneath the ornamentation is older. Oh, like, do you mean, like, the stuff... Like, I mean, I know that... Do you mean, like, this wall here is older than, like, that ornamentation there? Because I know that there is, like, an older... Oh, okay. So I guess, I mean, it would make sense for Godric to kind of spruce it up. If that's what you're saying, you feel like is happening too, then I haven't, this church's architecture also differs. So, I mean, I feel like this church is definitely, like, Godfrey era or something. I have a strong feeling that this church is, like, Godfrey era. Very old. Excellent. The church has Siraj banners. Oh yeah, do you mean, like... By the way, you might want to start looking at more of the banners and stuff and keeping track of them. Church has Siraj banners. I see, but isn't that on all of like Godric's, like, that's like the beast part of the beast and tree surcoat? But thanks for the heads up. Banners, keeping track. Yeah, you're right. That'll help me kind of like keep track of like some of the differences in the areas too. Here's elsewhere too, like the round table hold. Gotcha. So that stuff is probably, I think, like round table hold, banished knight era stuff. Uh, Yikes. Okay. This place. That's the same banners. Okay. Godfrey stuff. Actually, hold on. Yeah, what are those weird? They almost look like peacock feathers or something. Why? I don't know what those are. Oh, Godric has this symbol, like the dot with like the 10 dots around it or something, the 12 dots, I don't remember how many. He has that on his clothing as well, this thing. I think he's one of the only other people I've seen with that kind of pattern. Okay, yeah, and the Golden Lineage shield has that Sirash emblem on it as well. So I think that that is supposed to represent, yeah, like it's because I think the shield represents like Godfrey's, it's like a nostalgia or something. um so I think that it would have that symbol to kind of uh keep up that sort of reverence. Huge banner. Okay, now, whoops. Kind of hoped that I would be able to, yeah, get that backstab in. Jeez, if I just hadn't panic rolled there. Banished Knights are really tricky to deal with. Their wind does a lot of poise damage, I think. So yeah, my take on Lindell is that there were kind of two, at least, two eras during Marika's reign. Obviously, I mean that's maybe not so much of a take as a fact, but I think that the first one was marked by like the Banished Knights and like Round Table Hold stuff. Like that was Godfrey, Colosseum. That was all him, his stuff. I think the Banished Knights were his knights, so yeah. There we go. Also, yeah, if we're gonna go check out some of these older, well, I'll go get my runes back, so that's not for nothing. I do want to go check out that area down below where the Crucible Knight is, but it'll be later. Where? So yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing is from that Godfrey era, obviously. Godfrey stuff everywhere. But then I think that the Whoops, Radagon's era is more like... Oops. Okay. Like the Lindell Knights and, thanks. He might have introduced more like Two Fingers stuff as well. Because interestingly, like everyone... A lot of the Lindell Knights use like... It feels like they use more Two Fingers incantations than they even do like Erd Tree and worship incantations, which is not what I would have expected from Erd Tree worshippers. Ooh, that was actually very, very close. I almost got whooped. See, yeah, that kind of gothic style, that is, I think, very... I think that could have even been from a time when... I don't know, because I feel like the Chapel of Anticipation, which was absolutely connected to Stormvale, I think, at one point, is one of the places that the Four Belfries go to. So... I think that Godfrey era stuff also seems to be the things that are most associated with that aesthetic. I'm out of healing. Use this. Oh, I forgot about crouching. Playing too much Dark Souls and stuff. He's got to walk up super slow like. Oh, that's right. Roadhouse. Roadhouse. Alright, and then this is that symbol that appears on the veterans, whatever. And now, Conway Twitty. Yeah, the veterans thing. Halberd. I don't remember what it's called. Mimic's Veil. America's Mischief. Sneaky, sneaky. I channel the power of the gods. I am become death. Erd Tree relief statue in this room. Erd Tree. Do you mean like this thing in the back? Because I meant to say something about that. If that is, this does appear, I think, in a couple places in Lindell. I think it appears like above a door or something. I want to say that this is Godfrey era kind of symbology as well, but. Actually, something I never thought about. Oh, those might not be. Are those Banished Knight swords? I don't think they are. Well, that's annoying. Whatever, I'll find one later. Those are Banished... Oh, okay. Well, I'll find one that's, like, maybe by itself so I can get a better look at it, because those, like, looked a little pixelated or something. I don't know. The art looked weird for me. You know, potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. got some lettuce over here. I never really, like, looked around at what's in the kitchen. Is it literally just lettuce and potatoes? Jesus Christ. It is. Oh, okay, well, there's rabbit or whatever, too. There appears a ton of places it shows up on. Caria Manor's Gate and the Divine Tower Bridges. Interesting. See, the thing is, I actually do have a bit of... I do have sort of a good... You know, I do have reason to believe that the Banished Knights... the Godfrey era stuff is the Great Tree era stuff, which I think, you know, you said that the Great Tree might have just been, like, Godfrey's Erd Tree, basically. And I think I still think that could be possible, that for them to be different trees in the same tree in a way. But anyway. Sorry, I saw the level up screen. My brain started to do some math, and I totally lost that train of thought. Oh, right, but so... The more I start to, like, consider that, though, the less it makes sense, because... I feel like that has, like, really weird implications, because that means that, they were allies with Rennala potentially, like, already, or he was allies with Rennala already. By he, I mean, Godfrey. I'll use a little... I need more health. It's like, for real. There might be some Black Knight Greatswords in here that are a little bit better to look at. I think you may be misunderstanding that Godfrey creates the Crucible Great Tree Erd Tree with Marika. Oh, gotcha. Is that what your Radagon returns to Lindell, who becomes Elden Lord, changes order with his Elden Rune? Right. Where is... There's one Banished Knight. There's normally... I think there's some stars on it. On their, like, halberds. Sorry, not their halberds. Their sheaths. Their sword sheaths. They're normally everywhere. Well, there are a bunch in the Round Table Hold. So the Erd Tree may lose its red hue then, becomes more yellow. That makes sense. I guess, yeah, going from maybe like an amber to gold. I guess amber could already be considered gold. I don't know. Still the Erd Tree, but its function seems to be different. It doesn't continue producing sap. Things seem frozen. Excuse me. Where is Banished Knight? I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, normally they have, like, Banished Knight... Like, he can't throw a rock without hitting just, like, a bunch of swords on the ground. That's hilarious. Maybe Castle Morn would have what I'm looking for. It's fine. Okay, I don't want to continue through Stormvale either right now, though, because that... I yearn to explore. George, do you ever yearn? Let's go underground a little. Okay, so... Godfrey creates the Crucible Great Tree, Erd Tree with Marika. But see, like... If that's the case... I guess I don't know if that's... I don't know. I need to process that a little bit more. Because I'm not against that idea, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would... is this new character? Yes, it is. I am still, I think, like, pretty low level. Level 25, yeah. So, pretty new. See, I always considered, like, the Great Tree to be maybe, like, a kind of tree that had... It might have been a kind of tree that was actually sustainable. Like, it might have been a tree that was dying and being born at the same time. Like, potentially, I'm not totally sure, but the way that it spirals... I'm almost wondering if maybe, like, one of the spirals was alive and one was dead or something, and they just kind of had, like, the tree had a kind of balance to it that was removed with the Rune of Death. But that is super speculative. Yeah, I mean, I think that basically what I consider the Great Tree is, like, pretty much just, you know, it's like kind of like Ship of Odysseus kind of thing. Like, I think that it's the same tree, but in, like, a different form that could be considered a different tree. Like, it's the same... Why does this Honda ad have Beck playing? That is weird. I wish I had answers for you. But yeah, so I think that I think that the previous incarnations of the Erd Tree, there may have been several even. Maybe just one, I don't know yet, but I think that they are kind of essentially made of the same components of the Erd Tree, like, you know, in the same way that, like, when a phoenix dies and then is reborn from the ash, it's like the same phoenix, but not really. I think that's kind of what happens with the Erd Tree. Like, the Great Tree might have just been, like, an older Erd Tree that was burned down, and then the Erd Tree that we know of grew from it. Sort of a reincarnation of it, I guess. So I think whether or not, like, there is a second tree is totally debatable, because, like, I really don't know whether to actually view it as a different tree or the same tree, or if the people that worship it would even consider there to be a difference. You know, you could consider a phoenix to be immortal just because of the fact that it dies and is reborn over and over again. I mean, it still dies, though. Ooh, I think there's a wolf of Radagon down here. Or a red hound, whatever. I don't think it's got a name. Sometimes I just kind of I like to see what I turn into. What have I become? Oh wait, okay. If I go up this way, there will be... Okay, yeah, that'll be an interesting sort of path to the heart of Aeonia if I want to go there. I could also go to the Colosseum, too. Let's Let's get some runes. Why aren't they attacking me? Okay. Jesus. Is there not a wolf near here? I feel like I keep jumping around, but now I want to go look at a catacomb again. I feel like there's so many things I want to look at. I'll at least get to this, I'll get to this site of grace up here. Oh, and something I realized, by the way. I think canonly in all, like, the FromSoft games, this is the thing responsible for, like, us being able to come back to life and die, or die and come back to life canonly. Like, at least in Dark Souls, anyway, you have this item on you that makes you lose all runes and return to the site of grace, which is what happens when you die. And I think in Dark Souls, in one of the descriptions of the items, it basically just says that it activates when you are killed, or, you know, if the player chooses to use it. So I think that the memory of grace is essentially what's reviving us. Company I work for does localization. Oh my god. It's not worth it for a site of grace over there. Really just want to take like 10 lines from Elden Ring that are the Great Tree versus Erd Tree lines and just see how people translate it. Like a bunch of different takes on it. That would be really interesting. I want to say that there's a catacomb like in this sort of, yeah, I think in that area. Just to see what the consensus is for translation. Yeah. Because I have seen like several different takes on it. Like some people call it like it seems like they pair like great or like Erd Tree roots or something, or like big roots or something. I've heard is what people say that the Great Tree is called. That's right. I want to go south. The issue is Japanese don't use proper nouns like we do in English. Really great, awesome tree. Yeah, I get a big tree. Big, cool tree. Yikes. Okay. Really thought I would take damage from that. I could have sworn there would be... Okay. Am I still being chased? Yeah. Let's see how difficult that is to actually take him down. What I find interesting is they don't use their swords until like their like life really is threatened. It's like they still value their swords, which I don't understand. I wonder if their swords are like a more important piece of them than maybe we know. Because, like, why do they take such... Why are they so careful with those swords, even though they're just, like, old, crappy swords, like, according to the description? Something I will say is that, especially when you look at them from above, this is a terrible time to actually do this, they look a lot like the bird tree avatars. Now, this is a terrible time to do that. I thought it would maybe be a good opportunity to look at some stuff. Compilation of all the time. Oh, yeah. That might have been something that last protagonist sent me too. We've had several discussions about this just because it's so weird. It's such a weird topic. Stormfoot Catacombs. Okay. There are... I'm gonna go for that, so I can start upgrading some more weapons too. There's a compilation of all the time... Oh, minus the random notebook entries. Wait, what notebook entries? Do you mean like this kind of stuff, or... I think that's probably the Altus Tunnel. Oh, when you leave a note and it has stuff like Erd Tree ahead. Gotcha. So that is... Fort... Some... Lied? Baroth? I don't even remember. Did I just completely overshoot it? It's like way over there. Is that really still doing this for real? It's raining and you're... How can you even see me? The ones that get me are the root resin item, for example. Same. I have always had a lot of trouble accepting the whole thing about, like, the Erd Tree being disconnected from its own roots. Like, I feel like that's just a really awkward phrasing in, like, just in general. Where are these? Oh, it's because of these guys, huh? For real? Okay, fine. Am I good now? Are we good? Am I safe? Jesus. Let's just go talk to Mr. Beastman. Mr. Angry. Why does that look like suspiciously hidden? Oh, it's the exit to Altus Cave. This is not the right way. Up there. Erd tree and root resin descriptions about the minor Erd trees. Oh yeah, like there is an idea that like the great tree I think is like a term used to define like sort of a system of all the Erd trees sort of connecting to each other's roots, I think. Yeah, I personally think that there was like another tree that was technically the same tree, if that makes sense. Like a tree that was the foundation for what the Erd Tree grew from. So it was the Erd Tree. It might have even been called the Erd Tree. Or an Erd Tree. And it might be considered an Erd Tree by people in hindsight. But I do think that there was some other tree entity. Some arborous entity.
More deaths. I shall grant thee eye and claw. Feed me more.
More. Feed me more. Same with the Flask of Wondrous Physic. Oh, if you want, you can look at the Erd Tree Sunflowers to see the minor Erd Trees just called Erd Tree. Same with the... Blah, blah, blah. It says, oh, this one says basins are placed at the feet of minor Erd Trees. But I do think that the... that blooms facing the Erd Tree, and I think some of them do face minor Erd Trees, but I don't know. I think that just kind of means that they bloom facing like the sun, but I don't know. Where? Delia Crystal Tunnel. If I lean my neck forward just slightly, everything will make more sense. Talking about the Japanese text, localize this better. Oh, gotcha. Simultaneously buried at the roots of the great tree and at the Erd Tree, which shouldn't make sense. Well, I mean, if the roots of the Erd Tree and Great Tree are connected, then I feel like that does make sense. Like, they were, like, entangled with each other. How did I not have this one yet? And yeah, I mean, a lot. If it was just about the like words or whatever, I would probably not hold so much stock in it. But it's like I do feel like there is just there are things that hint at some different version of a tree from like a previous order or something that existed. And it does sound like, you know, the tree's roots are much more established than the Erd trees, and that's why they were used. Based on, like, what the root resin is saying. Like, it sounds like they were saying, yeah, there was this tree that had this whole root system set up, and the Erd tree tapped into it. Literally be Charlie Kelly violently chain-smoking Pepe Sylvia. For real. Okay, I feel like... That is how the Great Tree stuff makes me feel, though. Because it doesn't really feel like there are, like, any good answers that feel comfortable. Like, at a certain point, it is just kind of like what you vibe with, I feel like. Until we have better evidence of something. Stromboli, do you think the Erd tree is currently connected to its roots? I mean, probably. I mean, I think that it's connected to, like, its roots, but I think that it is not connected to, like, any of the catacombs and stuff, possibly. I think it still has, like, a somewhat, you know, functioning root system. I mean, I don't know how active it is. Oh my god. Scream. Do you think the catacomb roots were ever connected to the Erd Tree? Yeah, I think that, the Erd Tree, like, I mean, I kind of see it as, like, yeah, there were a bunch of roots that were already there, and then the Erd Tree kind of connected, maybe, like, at the area, you know, if you want to say maybe it was grafted onto the stump of the Great Tree, then I think its roots just kind of grew into the tree and connected to the roots that already existed. Not that, you know, I don't know if that's necessarily what happened, but I feel like using the analogy of, like, grafting it onto the tree kind of helps me visualize how their roots could connect without being, like, the same roots, kind of like overlapping. Severely slanted, especially. And, you know, honestly, it could be disconnected from, like, this giant great tree root system underneath it, and that could also be why it's, like, tilted. But I mean, I feel like it's got to be connected to its roots to a degree for it to still be standing. Oh, I love being able to spin like this while I'm healing. I can't do that in old Dark Souls games. It's important. So why aren't the catacomb roots connected now? That could have been the shattering or the rune of death being removed. Like, it's possible that the Great Tree was kind of, like, more associated with it's possible that the Great Tree was, like, just, like, the form that the Erd Tree sort of took when death was part of the Elden Ring. Because I kind of just consider I consider the Erd Tree to kind of just be an extension of the Elden Ring. Like, if the Elden Ring changes, the Erd Tree changes. But it is the same Erd Tree to an extent. Okay, yeah, let's... I need to return to the Site of Grace. Oh my god. Maybe more health. I do feel like some more strength would be... Well, let's do some more damage. Okay, so... Part of my crazy brain feels like the Erd Tree could have been something similar. Oh, the issue is the Great Tree is called... literally called the Great Tree, or the Erd Tree in the Tree and Beast Surcoat. And yeah, I mean, I think that, like... I think that Erd Tree is... I still kind of feel like it's something like a status because of the way that the Halig Tree crest says, like, a Halig Tree. I mean, I know we've discussed this before, but I feel like it is what it's saying is that the Halig Tree could have achieved a state that was comparable to the Erd Tree's state in some way. So I do think that it's... The Helfin might have been another Erd Tree. Like, I think Lampwoods might just be trees that are capable of becoming something with Erd Tree properties when it gets to a certain stage of its life or something. Have you guys ever seen Strangler Figs? I have not. I'm really interested in that. Oh, Strangler Figs. I imagine that has something to do with, what, like, vines, that sort of parasitic vines? Like, I think that the Great Tree could have been seen as an Erd Tree. Like, I think that it could have just been considered the Erd Tree at the time, and it might just be called the Great Tree in hindsight to kind of distinguish it from the current incarnation of the Erd Tree, because they are the same tree in a way. It's a tree that basically grows around another tree and kills it, taking place of the tree it killed. That is horrific and fascinating. Like, I think that basically whether or not the Great Tree is actually a different thing than the Erd Tree is more of like a matter of perspective or like opinion rather than one that can actually be defined. Like the ship of Odysseus. Theseus. Ship of Theseus. Wrong Eos. Sounds like something Captain Falcon would say, like, yes! Yeah! Falcon! I will come back later. Well, I do crave battle. Cool beans. Gross. Oh! No one should have to live with the trauma of seeing their parents die. So, you're welcome. Good job saving them from trauma. Yes, yes, I sent them to the raddest place in that you can think of. I sent them to heaven. It's a kindness if you think about it. If you think about it, I'm actually the good guy for killing them. Yeah. Oh, here I go killing again. Ha. Heh. I was a little bit scared. Have to finish my Yahweh research. Can't really determine if it's viable, but it seems like it from what I have so far. That's cool. Yeah, it is really interesting to think of Godfrey as sort of this original god, sort of. I mean, I don't know enough about Yahweh, I guess, to really comment on that too much, but he does seem to represent. I mean, I think Miyazaki even might have said that in an interview. He does seem to represent sort of like the good that the Erd Tree can do, like all the good time of the Erd Tree, the time of bounty, abundance. Let's see, what did the red mane coat say? I have a couple. Okay. Rings in constant mourning for the soulless gods. Thus, the surcoat depicts a red-maned lion raising a sword in the image of Radon. Thus, there were red manes, and all proved they were worthy of the name. You know, that is kind of interesting. I never realized that the... Oh. The lion kind of holds the sword like a... like an Erdtree burial watchdog kind of does. Like, it's kind of in like a similar posture. It might not be relevant. You know, how many different ways can you really show like a bipedal or a quadrupedal thing holding something? But, I don't know. There already do seem to be some sort of interesting connections between beast men and the fact that those things were even made, potentially. I mean, you know, maybe they are just... It's just... Oh my god, that's hilarious. Is that the... Are those the eyes of the... That's almost cute. Wow. I love that. Die, though. Oh, whoops. I thought you had less health. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Delicious words. Jesus. What is that yell? It's just their ear holes glowing. When the eyes glow on the worm faces, it's not... It's really funny when the eyes glow on jellyfish. Wait, which worms? Oh god. Yeah, they can see with their ears, so their ears are glowing. Oh, no, no, no. I'm just being so dumb. I just need to level up or something. I don't think it's a stamina problem. I think I've got enough health. I need to start cranking out the damage now. Cool. For real? Why no backstab? Why? Bleh. Okay. I need to get through this place. My patience is wearing thin. Jesus, I thought that I would have dodged that one. That's fine. I am just gonna start running past these guys. I don't even need to fight them. Just run through willy-nilly. Yeah, I'm with you. I got the runes that I needed from them. Scooch on by. Whoops. Forgot it. If I had pulled that off successfully, that would have been great. Cool. Okay. Damn. So that didn't work. For this particular place, I might have to do some killing. I might... What level is my... That's a short sword plus 4. I might be able to upgrade my sword a bit. We'll see. Cool. Oh, perfect. This is crazy. Jesus. The fire damage. Use an invisible potion or an invis potion. God, everything I hear about Baldur's Gate makes it sound so cool. What the invis potion would be, I guess, the hidden body sorcery. I am gonna leave this place because I think I'm just getting impatient and dying now because these guys are pissing me off. Oh my god. Can I even leave? No. I can't. All right then. Let's get creative. Green is not a creative color. Jesus Christ. How far will you guys follow me? Okay, well... I've got a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it? It's up until like 2 a.m. on weeknights, playing because I couldn't stop. That seems like the... Why are you here? I'm thinking about, like, rewarding myself with the game when I finally get finished with my Elden Ring timeline video, which I finally have the rough draft finished for. I still need to make a couple... still need to add a couple things, I think, but I'm pretty happy with sort of the general outline and some of the observations I've made. Oh my god, I'm not doing any damage. damage to him either. What the hell is this? You know, this is really interesting too, because like magma in Dark Souls is something older than fire sorcery. Like, that's the original fire sorcery. And Dragon Communion incantations are something that is, it's called barely, it said it's barely even qualified as an incantation because it's like too primal or something like that. Ouch. Nice, finally. Really hoping to get one of these. Hopefully I have it now. This fight, I think, proves I need to increase the my damage output. Like, I should not have to rely on staggers for all my damage when I'm not even really like a strength character. Holy shit, one hit. Okay, pretty sure I had full health too. And that was with the Flask of Wondrous Physics, so I had extra health. So, let's just talk to Alexander.
Oh, the esteemed warrior. This was supposed to be a dead end. What's going on here? A door. Well, stranger things happen at sea, or... Gosh, that dead end had me rather stumped. It's time I said the festival at Redmane Castle on the southern... Doesn't the thought just set your heart aflutter?
I like that delivery.
It's time I said the festival at Redmane Castle. Doesn't the thought just
Wait, who is that? It's Alexander, the warrior jar. He is my sweet boy, or my sweet time boy. Because it doesn't sound like him. Yeah, he sounded kind of like different right there. I agree. He was like kind of bloodthirsty sounding. Let me put a little mark here so that I know there's still a boss to be fought there. Oh, actually, I wonder if I could fight the Leonine Misbegotten now. Yeah, Alexander is awesome. I realized he has a lot of sort of parallels with Siegvard from Dark Souls 3. Siegvard, if you go through his quest line, shows up at the Yorm fight and helps you beat him. And Alexander, you know, a bunch of other ways they're similar, but Alexander also, the warrior jar, helps you fight the fire giant. It's like the one guy I think you can summon for that fight. bitch. Oh, that's not what I meant to use. Damn, that was really going well for me until I got confused by that incantation. He also, interestingly enough, it seems like he has some, like his butt wings. All of the Misbegotten actually have little butt wings, I think. Little chicken wings. Let me check out these dudes. Yeah, there's his little chicken wings. And I've noticed the ones that have, like, you know, usable wings, have 4 sets of wings, which is vaguely draconic, ancient draconic. I just realized something about the jellyfish that never occurred to me before. So, for a while now, I've been pretty sure that the thing that makes the dead, like, one of the things that, like, that makes the dead different from the living is that I don't think that they can feel any sensation or emotions. Actually, let's check out his little butt wings, because they actually look a little bit more developed than a normal... Those remind me a lot of, like, deathbirds. But deathbirds have silly little white wings anyway. Got, like, an alligator tail, too, jeez. Which is an incantation that I think pretty much all of the Crucible Knights can use. The Crucible tail. It was so fast. I subscribe to the theory that the Misbegotten are the de-evolution of aspects of the Crucible. If you look at the aspects, I agree. I think that the Leonine Misbegotten specifically, like the red ones that are liony or whatever, I think that they were Crucible Knights that, like, were sort of transformed. But anyway, so I think that the dead can't feel emotion, and emotion is something that is connected to the associated with the concept of, like, the mind, in the terms of, like, mind, body, soul. Jellyfish are, like, specifically an animal that does not have a brain. In other words, they don't have a mind. Like, I think that that's why emotions are associated with curse. Oh my god. Emotions are associated with curses pretty often, and a lot of curses are floating skulls. So I think that the jellyfish could just be like some of those mindless spirits that are sort of just seeking guidance. Oh my god. If you look at ancient dragons, over time they become less draconic and more animalistic. Yeah, I think that something happened that evolved people. Like, I think that there's kind of 2 types of people on in the Lands Between. Like, I think that there's the Newman with those weird proportions that descended from, like, maybe like Onyx and Alabaster Lords or something, like from otherworldly sources, is what. Whereas I think that humans, as we know them, like, you know, normal humans, maybe like the kind that Godfrey was, I think that they are basically like beasts that were given intelligence and, like, that changed. And whatever they were given is wearing off, and they're becoming beasts again. Damn. A little early on that one. Space guys and beast guys, just like in Bloodborne. Ooh. I love when stuff works out like that, but yeah, I think so. These guys are silver here, which is neat. They're a different color. Wait, 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 wait. Wait. You're saying the jellyfish here are a different color? I'm red-green colorblind, which I know makes it sound like I just have trouble with red and green, but like... Are they normally a different color? El Blindo. Yes, I'm not... I'm disabled. Technically. These boys are silvery. Are they normally, like, bluish? Because that kind of makes me think of, like, the difference between how, like, spirit ashes are either... like, they're more bluish or purplish, I think, if they're, like, puppets. Oh, damn. What's up, big pisser? Are we sure they're silvery? Or... Damn. Yeah, I think I need to level up and do some more damage, because this is just, like, lame. I could also just, like, get good, but... I'll try a couple more times. Are we sure they're silvery rather than just being a shading thing? Kind of like how being at Flame Peak changes the colors of some metals. I need to go to another place with some of these. Maybe if I had some... Do I have any glowstones? Probably not. Oh, I do. Okay, that's rude. I'll come back. Jesus, that was just so early. I keep expecting him to be, like, I guess slower than he is? I mean, he's really fast. Yeah, I'm actually just getting really in my head about this fight. It's Friday, so I think I'm, like... I am not in a boss fight mood, I think. I don't have the patience for it. Elden Ring. Oh, the jelly. Fish jelly. I think I almost just jumped right off the side there. Okay, now that I'm passing back through here, I think I want to take a look at some of the older area here that's... down by the Crucible Knight. They're different types of jellyfish? Wait, what? Oh yeah, they don't even look the same. They have, like, stringy little things coming down the sides instead of the frills around the edges. I don't know what the fuck that means. So, Castle Morn is special, I think, because it is... I think it's one of the last places that Godfrey conquered. And it's a place that required... Like, there was some clan there that had one member left that was just able to withstand everything the Erdtree threw at them except for Godfrey. And there's a moan grave at the end of that tunnel, and I'm kind of the opinion that those moan graves are potentially, like, demigod graves. Also has that gravestone with the hole in it. Yes, that's the one. I think they're called moan graves because, if I had to guess, the wind is supposed to blow through that hole and make, like, a moaning sound. But I think that... You all saw how whack that was, right? that was ridiculous. I feel like I just, like, slid off of the... Whatever. The air became slippery. Probably some sort of biology thing, like how the mountaintops bats have yellow undersides to their wings. Oh, is it only them? I don't know how I didn't notice that. I think the bats, when the bats are in proximity to Frenzy, they get yellow. That's the other thing. I think Castle Morn has a closer connection to Frenzy than we think, too. Like, I think it might be from a time where, like, the Frenzied Flame was more... I don't want to say accepted as much as it was just, like, it was a bigger part of the world. Like, it was more present. But yeah, I think that all those moan graves, like all the ones in Lindell, for instance, I think those are all demigods. I don't remember what it was that made me come to that conclusion, but part of it was based on the way that the runes, like these golden rune items, when you get to a certain point, the a little bit of like the center sort of parts, and you have like this black, like it looks more like an eye. And I think that that is supposed to symbolize, because I mean that is supposed to be the grace that's in your eyes. So I think it sort of symbolizes that maybe someone has enough grace to see things more clearly. Again, I'm wondering if grace has a way of sort of altering your perception, and only people that are particularly powerful can, or that have a lot of grace, can actually see through that. And so I think that would be demigods, pretty much. Or very, very powerful champions, people worthy of becoming Lord, maybe. Although, you know, the Lord's rune is like its own thing. That was so cool. That was less cool. I should have paused and just seen like how close that got to my face. The only red-winged bats are in one of the ruins. Probably just because... Wait, is it... Is it... the... Cat like Fort Lyde here or whatever, or Faroth, or is it God, there's two places. The ravine. Are either of those places the ones with like the different bats? Because those places feel super duper important to me. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go fight that Crucible Knight again right now. Actually, no, I do. I didn't really look around that area enough. Well, the bats are yellowwing bats are named off of some sort of bats in colder climates IRL. That's cool. I don't remember the names of those bats though. Spent a lot of time thinking about that place and the bat ladies with their 15th century braids. Okay, yeah, are you talking about the ravine? Because can we talk about the ravine? I've been dying to talk about the ravine. Oh, that's hilarious. I think an ad break just started. Okay, I'll take a sec. Let's see. The only red-winged bats... are in the mountains. Probably copy-pasted Ruin. I forgot to tell you, I somehow got malware from my Elden Ring modding stuff. Oh no, that sucks. I'm sorry. How much does fire hurt these guys? Before I fall, let's just take a look around. I kind of want to take a closer look at these guys, just to sort of see if there's any details. I mean, we can actually wear this armor set, so there might not be anything I've never noticed before. But something I do think is interesting is that there is a sort of weird duality or like asymmetry. There's like a weird asymmetry with Crucible stuff where there's like one dark dot and then one light dot. Like how there's a horn on the top and then there's a white spot on the bottom. I'm trying to remember, there's some other place where... There's some other places, I think, in Crucible stuff where that is done, but I can't remember. Oh, well, there is the fact that the shoulders here are like white dots. And then there's like a black dot in the middle. I think that is significant, even though it doesn't really sound like it, like yin and yang. Yeah, I mentioned a second ago that I think that the Great Tree might have been capable of some sort of balance, because like it might have been composed of like dead material and living material. Like it might have been dead and alive at the same time. Had some kind of duality. Because I think it might have been like that crossed tree shield tree potentially, where there's like, you know, two trees sort of spiraling around each other. I think it would be really poetic for one of those trees to have symbolized life while the other was like death, or like, you know, it's two halves of something being represented by one tree. I did not need to heal twice. I think the Great Tree was the Crucible. I think that it's very possible that it was. I'm still not 100% sure, because I want to say that the Crucible sounds like something that was very young and like growing, whereas the Great Tree sounds like more established. But it's hard to know, because the Great Tree also kind of sounds like it was something that was associated with growth and abundance, potentially, like either way. Whoops. That was almost just terrible. I gotta get some backstabs on these guys. Or wait. This isn't even the shortcut that I need to be taking. I totally forgot I unlocked a shortcut that got me past this. Just full of muck and created wee beasties, then the aliens came and fucked it all up. I think that's something along those lines. Yeah, that's more or less kind of what I think. I think that there were beasts kind of doing their thing, and then some greater whatever, greater will or something gave them intelligence to sort of, who knows, achieve some goal. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's possible that like the intelligence, like the whole concept of intelligence is like sourced from the cosmos, potentially, like a source of truth and knowledge. So I think that, yeah, I think that it is very possible that the aliens came down, gave people intelligence, and then the people with intelligence fought back. Maybe. I'm kind of thinking Marika, like, was able to convince everyone that, like, all the other gods sucked except for her. Oh god. It's the dumb summary. 90% of my brain power is being used on the etymology of Yahweh right now. Oh my god. Yeah, I can only imagine. Especially since Yahweh is not even like... Is Yahweh even like his actual name or something? It's like... Isn't there something about like the name of God not being spoken, so like other words or other names were used? Interestingly enough, I want to say that some of the symbols on this are really similar to the catacombs. So, or like the doors to the catacombs. So, could lend more credence to the whole, like, Great Tree was Godfrey's tree thing. But I'm not sure about that. Yahweh. Oh, WH. Or Y. YA. I just read the letter Y as W. Or like double Y God. That was way funnier in my head, I'll say that. Yeah, I regret that one. Whatever, you miss 100% of the shots. Blah blah. Actually, I wish I had just ended the quote there. Well, you know what they say, you miss 100% of the shots. My rune's back. Very early Judaism, mostly Canaanite theology. Canaanite? Canaanite. Why do I keep double healing? I'm so used to, like, Oh my god. Cool. I'm still confused as to what could be afflicting some of the, like, these thorns are associated. I mean, it's hinted that it's like a result of grafting or something, or it's some punishment for grafting, but I don't understand why it's just sort of like it seems like it's infected the exile knights or the exiled soldiers, even though they're just sort of dudes. Saying it directly eventually became considered blasphemous, so they used stuff like Elohim and Lord to avoid. Oh, gotcha. All my religious classes are coming back because this author is talking about GEPD. JEPD. How to read. Hell yeah, college paid off now. Finally, I can use my college education for Elden Ring, something important. I can make some real change in this world. I gotta say, the male voice lines of, like, you know, when the character dies, they sound kind of silly. The woman voice lines sound much more like, I feel like, extreme. When she dies, sometimes I'm like, oh god. But then the guy dies and he's like, and it's really hard to take that seriously. Okay, some more of these guys. Oh. I'm gonna upgrade my, weapon. That's what I've needed to do this whole time. I'm like, oh, there's a weird damage problem. What's going on? That's what's going on.
Well, I took you for no matter. Lay out your own.
I mean, that'll do. Even though it was just a little. Every bit helps.
Would you like me to now? You are so very warm. I was known as a deathbed companion. Where I come from, after I received the warmth and lively vigor from a number of champions, I lay with the remains of an exalted noble. To grant him another chance at life, to do so is the purpose of my being. But before I could bear the noble into new life, I was awakened by the guidance of
She
grace,
says it's the purpose of her being, and I think that that could be
Pray,
kind of in a more real sense, because I think that at one point she says that she was. She says, like, it's one of the last things she says if you finish her quest line. She says that she was born a deathbed companion.
My dear.
Like, she considers herself blessed to have been born a deathbed companion or something like that. So it's not a skill that you can pick up, or it's not something that is chosen for you. I think it is something that you have to be born with some attribute or some ability that makes you suited for
I
this.
am pleased. Would you like me to hold? The blessing is still. Would you like?
Ew. Oh, and then I will bring Roderica her buddies. You can't just learn the skill of having sex with a dead guy. Excuse you. It's an art. And also, it's metaphorical sex, so
Chrysalids the message that I love them.
bet you feel pretty dumb
and
now.
that despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough.
Is it though? I just want to make a joke about getting boned.
What's this?
A
keepsake.
I mean, I think so because she can have a baby with your the female character.
They all believed in me. They all thought I'd make something of my. I think I'll head to.
And also,
the
she
Round
is.
Table Hold. Perhaps.
You
I'll find
sure
my
about
purpose
that?
there.
Are you sure about that though?
I think I'll head to the. Perhaps I'll find. I think I'll head to the. Perhaps I'll find my
Also, she sleeps with the near the body of the dead person, but like she gives birth to them. Like she gives them new life. Like she sort of like the mending rune that she gives us is
I should have told you sooner.
it is Godwin actually. Like he is reborn as the mending rune is what she says, and that he's considered I think the child of all of the champions that she had lively vigor from. Like she kind of gave it to him.
Had such fantastic roots, although it's all a bit
So
much
yeah,
for me.
she kind of I think says it's
I'm still
technically
looking
like
for my own purpose.
our character's child in a way too, since we gave her
Oh, and
lively
please
vigor.
allow me to express my thanks for giving me that. It was as if I was frozen. You have my It's all a bit. I'm still looking.
Okay, yeah, that's how I need more health as well, because I am healing way more than I have health. I don't like wasting healing like that.
The girly boy here. She's crestfallen and can scarcely swing a blade. But she has
Oh,
a
and
gift
whoops, one sec.
for spirit tuning.
One of the reasons
Their eyes
that I
share the
actually
same
think Hugh can teach Roderica like the gift of the skill of spirit tuning is because what they're both doing is manipulating memories within ashes. He can do it with ashes of war.
Some kind of gift.
She can do it with
don't believe
spirit
you.
ashes.
But if
Like I think
do
he can
have
kind of
this
like teach
talent,
her enough
and
to
goodness
help her
knows
do
that
her
would be
thing.
my first. I suppose
And he
I
just
should
kind of
try to
uses a
hone it,
similar skill
shouldn't
for
I?
different
I'll
means.
ask Master Hugh to teach. Certainly he does appear, and I know he's trapped here at the round table. I can tell. He's a gent. If I do have a talent for spirit tuning, and goodness knows that would be a surprise, I suppose I should try to hone it. I'll ask Master.
Okay. Ask Master Hugh. Hugh Grant.
Back already. No matter. The girl. What about her? Are you out of your mind? Who'd stay with an ugly brute who only knows absurd? I refuse to believe it. I don't doubt you.
Alright. Do I have to keep playing telephone between these two people, or will they just finally talk to each other now?
If I do have, I suppose I should. I'll ask Master.
Thank God. Okay, well, Hugh said this. Well, okay, well, Roderica said this.
Good to see you.
But do
again.
you like anyone?
Thank you very much. I have you to thank, don't I? I can happily announce that he has taught me the noble toil of spirit tuning. I'm as yet unsure of what I might be
I like
able
Hugh.
to
I love
accomplish.
Hugh. I think
But
Hugh
if
is
I might be able to help you all,
one of the like most interesting
I'd
kind of
certainly like to
characters.
try. And if there's
I think
any
he's
chance
really
to ease
kind
the
and really
suffering of my
tragic.
dear men who were grafted, well, I certainly must try. Roderica, the spirit tune apprentice.
Like, I think he's genuinely just kind of like a chill dude. In a world that, if we're being honest, needs more chill dudes. Needs a little bit more chillness. There was something I was going to...
You've met Garank, I take it. Then owing to our duties shared, we are now comrades in arms. I think you've earned this. The power of the Golden Order.
Okay. Well, I do want some of those later. Just not...
Did you need? I serve the Golden Order, that I might put
Look at that
this
in the right
crooked
corner of the
land
map.
to
Armenian
rights,
Wheel of
following
Eternity.
only the guidance.
Hold on.
Those who live in death fall outside the principles of the Golden Order. Their mere existence, and so it is the vermin.
In the far right corner? Oh, I see. Yeah, in the compass. Yeah, and I noticed that there are some like some of those swirls on the doors here too. Like right there. Do you see it? Do you see it? Also, do I know where any Guardians of Minor Erdtree will be? There might be some... Oh, there's going to be some up here. One of the symbols that I studied, like they're on the worm faces medallions. That is very interesting. They're also on... like the Erdtree Guardians garb, whatever, has these 3 symbols on the front that I think represent like the sun, the moon, and the eclipse, basically. I literally made a whole video, like the stars, and I think that's the one on stars. It was largely based around those 3 medallions that they have. So hopefully I can find... And one of them is that the Wheel of Eternity. Alright, let's see if I can just scooch on past this guy. Howdy. Howdy do. Okay. So that was stupid easy. I think we can tone the music down. We're good. And something I want to talk about with minor Erdtrees, and this applies to like all minor Erdtrees, by the way, that I've seen. The way that the tree grows is different, like halfway up the trunk, which, like, you know, there's clearly like a distinct sort of, from this point down it's weird and lumpy, and from that point up it's tree. Normally I feel like this, I think that this could symbolize like the changing of order, like this could be tree that grew during Godfrey's reign, and this could be trees that grew during Golden Order or something, but this is not normal, and I feel this normally implies, if you ever see a tree like that in real life, I feel like that normally implies something very traumatic happened to it. Okay, so there should be some guardians up here. The real reason I came over here, I'm not fighting that putrid feller. Possible, but also you're not really supposed to see up the tree that far in detail. Well, I mean, I could go on that cliff and... Like, it is also, like, really weirdly different. Like, it feels... And I think that you can notice it from the ground, really. Like, I mean, you can kind of see the difference from here, technically. It's just harder to really tell until you get up close. Like, I get what you're saying, but it is weird. It does feel like it would take more work to just, like, to have two different textures on the tree like that. Like, if it was going to be something that they just did because it was easy, I would have thought that they would just make the tree the same all the way up and down. Alright, let me just find one of those guardians real quick. These guys are way too much. Okay. This'll do. There it is. Yeah. And funny enough, it's really hard to tell here. You can kind of see it. But, so, like, there... Oh, can't really... if you kind of look at the right side of this, I mean, it clearly looks like a sun, but there is sort of a moon crescent face on the right that sort of feels like... That looks like it's overlapping the sun here, so I think that this is, like, an eclipse being depicted here. But yeah, there's the, wheel. Or there's a goddamn strangler fig growing up the tree murdering it. For real. I need to look into that too, because that actually sounds strangely relevant. Or maybe not so strange. They also have all these weird symbols all over them. Just might be those same symbols, but I don't know. Anyway, it's 8:03, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Hopefully I will have, like, I finally have my rough draft done with my next Elden Ring video. I'm hoping it won't take me too much longer to finish it, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.